Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 165. It is Monday here in Cincinnati. We're in that time of year where the city weather is going to change 30 to 40 degrees in a day. So we're waking up to a really chilly morning, and then it's going to get warmer, and tomorrow's going to be chilly, and then it's going to be a little warmer, and by this weekend it'll be 60. So we are in the transition. The last pieces of winter are starting to make their way out. It is gorgeous and sunny, bright blue skies. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I am back in my routine after being out of town this weekend. We went to see my beautiful friend Sally and celebrated her birthday. And what is going to be shared next is a shameless plug for Serendipity Stables, because it was such an incredible experience to be there. And if you are anywhere near Columbus, I encourage you to find the stables and set up a time and go for a visit. It is absolutely beautiful. And this is from someone who is not familiar with horses. So I'm going to share a little bit of what I experienced, and it's just a fun Monday morning story. So I grew up not very connected to animals. We didn't own pets. We went to the farm every once in a while to see my great aunt and uncle, but we really didn't grow up, in a close relationship with animals. And many of my friends have, and so they have very close connections, especially with horses. And my friend Sally is that way. And so she found this stable near Columbus called Serendipity Stables, and asked us to come up for her birthday to go for a visit. And so that's what we did. So in advance, I was trying to prepare her. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be very comfortable for me. I don't know about these horses. I think I'm just going to sort of keep my distance. I don't know. She's like, you don't even understand. It's so good. So we arrived at the stables. It's an hour north of the city, and it's pretty remote out in the country. And this beautiful woman greets us. Sweet lady, totally covered up in clothes and hat, and it was kind of a cold, rainy day on Saturday. And she walks us into the stables, and she's just talking about how she set the place up and, her background. She's extremely well educated and has just this incredible story of how she arrived in the work that she's now doing. And she walks us into the stables, and there are all these horses in different areas. And right as we walk in, she says, Star has been telling me that you're coming, that he wants to connect with you. And her role in the work that she does is to translate energy, much as I do. She can be right next to the horse and translate what they are receiving energetically and transmitting out to the person that they are working with. And so she's the translator, just like I am. Her translation is through telepathically understanding what the horse is experiencing. And it changes based on the person in front of the horse. There's always this co-creation of energy. And so she told us, Star's been waiting for you. Star's been waiting for you to come. And so we walk over and we greet this beautiful, beautiful horse with a big white star literally in the center of his black head. Big horse. It's a she. Sorry, I'm not very good on she's and he's with animals. I need to get better. But Star, was very excited for us to be there. And so we were immediately guided into this session with one of my friends, and it was beautiful. And And there were these other horses in another part of the barn. And my friend reminded me when I looked online that the one that I wanted to connect with was this beautiful horse named Mystique. So we went into the other stable where Mystique was. And I'm now in this enclosed area with, I think there were I think there were 5 horses in this area. And I'm totally cool. I couldn't believe it. And the horses are moving around and they're like coming up behind me and, sort of nibbling on you and poking you and nudging you and sniffing. And I mean, it was the most incredible thing to be in that space and not have any fear. And, also to have this beautiful woman who owns the stable holding such beautiful space and telling us how, she communicates with them. And it was just so peaceful. It was so peaceful. So I walk over and she starts translating for me what this horse is wanting to share with me. And it was spot on perfect for where I am and the work that I'm doing. And, just this encouragement to keep my focus on teaching wellness and healing for other people. And that is the work I'm here to do. And I'm in alignment with that work and just running this energy. And there's this process that happens, and I'm going to try to translate it, but you need to just go for yourself to experience it because it's so beautiful. Michelle is the woman who owns the stable, and she said the horse is going into healing stance. And basically the horse gets really still. It's when you're standing next to the horse to have whatever the experience of healing is that you're going to have. The horse gets really still, and then as Michelle says, the eyes have this faraway glaze, the nostrils flare, and then there's nothing for a moment, and there's just all this energy moving, and you can literally feel it. It's this shift in the atmosphere or the space, that you're in with the horse. Everything just gets like really, really still and quiet, and something's happening, even if you have no idea what it is that's happening. And in that healing stance is when I saw Michelle starting to translate. So the horse would be doing this movement of energy, and then this beautiful woman is translating what she's experiencing through the horse, and all these beautiful words come through and all these messages. And it was amazing. We had 4 of us, and each one of us had a completely different translation through Michelle. Each one of us, it was specific to where we are and exactly what we're each experiencing in our lives. And it was the most beautiful, kind, gentle advice. Here's something that could serve you to do next. It was so cool. It was so cool. I understand energy. I understand translation. And yet being in a space with a horse and a woman who has just mastered this process, it was so cool. She was telling us that she has had people find her who have children with autism, and that when the children are by the horse will stand in this healing stance for long periods of time and start moving energy, start bringing energy through the child where perhaps it has gotten stuck. And then suddenly, the patient, the client, the child, when they're back home, a week later, a few weeks later, the parents are calling and saying, we can't believe it. This is what's happened. Here's what we are seeing in improvements. We're bringing the child back. She had a woman who had brain injury, severe brain injury, and the woman's daughter brought her to the stable, and she was working with one of the horses. And within 4 days, she came back. She was almost comatose when she arrived the first time. And the next time she came back, she got out of the car and walked into the stable, so excited to see the horse, and just continued to improve and literally rewired the injuries that had been occurred in her brain, that had happened in her brain. And these stories, there were just one after another stories that she was telling us with this exact same message, that these horses in their healing stance are moving energy for humans in the most powerful and gentle and lasting ways, that they are literally changing the vibration of the human that is with them. It was such a beautiful time in a place that normally I would not go to because it's outside of my comfort zone and I'm very unfamiliar with farm life. And yet, because my friend was so passionate about it and so comfortable in that space, she was the bridge for me. She created this cocoon so that we could all just drop in with her and have this amazing experience. So in some way, you could say my friend was holding a healing stance for me and for the rest of my friends, our friends, that we could go into this vortex of energy and have this incredible experience that we normally would not allow ourselves to have. It was beautiful. So even if you don't live in Columbus, look up Serendipity Stables and send a little note to this beautiful Michelle and just say, keep on doing your work, because you are in such beautiful alignment with why you are here. This is a woman who is in her genius, and she said several times, this is not what I thought I'd be doing with my life. And yet there is nothing more valuable that she could be doing than being a translator and bringing healing in this incredible way. So thank you, Sally. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Serendipity Stables. Thank you, Mystique. Thank you, Star. What an incredible experience. It's going to be a good week, friends. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.